Welcome to another edition of the 1% Better podcast with your host, Rob O'Donoghue.
Hey guys, so this week's 1% Better is in the 864 vein, and it is with Hollywood actress Rosanna Arquette. Yes, the Rosanna Arquette from the very famous Arquette acting family. Very lucky to connect with her last year through a funny circumstance, and I may tell that more deeply at another point, but I couldn't believe my luck. I said I was going to definitely make the most of this one and not cut it short, so it has and did go well over the 15-minute mark, but I'm sure you won't mind that. Again, last year, a very popular episode. If you listen to it, maybe listen to it again, you'll get something new out of it. And for those of you, the many of you that didn't hear this one the first time round, I hope you really enjoy it. And that is pretty much it. Back next week with a full 1% Better new release. But this one was too good not to put back out. So enjoy. As always, please do let me know if you're enjoying this show, the new repurposing of 864 and any of the stuff that I'm doing. Without you guys helping me share this, probably wouldn't be doing it. Okay, enjoy. Good luck.
This is the 864 podcast from Rob of the Green, providing you with some insights, ideas, and actionable takeaways in just 864 seconds, or 1% of your day, with the explicit goal of making you get a little better, even if it's just 1%. Here's your host, Rob O'Donoghue. Let's do this.
I'm talking with and delighted to introduce Rosanna Arquette from Hollywood this morning. Rosanna, good morning in Hollywood.
Good morning. Good morning from Hollywood. That sounds so funny. I never think of myself, but actually, yes, I guess I live in this crazy community, but people call Hollywood, and it's not that glamorous. Let me tell you.
Well, one of the things I promised you before we started, and I suppose my podcast is around values and around the person. So we're going to talk about you more than the Hollywood extravaganza that's going on there. And the first question I'd like to ask, and it just came up for me about 20 minutes ago. I was just looking through Twitter and I noticed you posted that it's your mum's anniversary today. 21 years ago she passed away.
Yes.
You mentioned about, this was the values or what she taught you. Could you talk to me about some of the values that she taught you growing up and that you've developed over the years and that you, I suppose, live by?
Well, I mean, one of the things I can also start off with is that when I was 4 years old and we lived in New York City, I was born in New York, she would take me on the subway to a school in Harlem, and it was an all-black nursery school. She wanted to integrate it, and I was the only only white child in an all-black nursery school. So right there, then and there, it was just like, this is what it's supposed to be. You love your fellow man, no matter what color their skin is. That was instilled in us from the very beginning. So I have really strong memories of that in my spirit and my soul. I was always went into I was always in schools that were diverse, and my mom, if she looked upon anything with disgust and disdain, was wealthy people. And I remember when I started making my own money and having money, and we all, were successful in our own right. But it was like, she kind of, had a real hard time with that, which was a big struggle for me, because it was like, wait, is it not okay to make a living? Is it not okay to be successful? I do give a lot, and, just even I'm having a problem right now. You give so much and then it's not enough for anybody. Sometimes it feels like people are, wanting more, and they think because you have it, but, we all have our own bills to pay, and it may look like good on the outside, but you still have, like schools and many, many, many things. But the values that she instilled in us were, loving your fellow man and taking care of other people. And I think if you're going to have a platform as an actor that people know, it was really important that, we do the right thing, and all of us do in our own ways, every one of us. Patricia, in her own Oscar speech, talked about gender equality and being paid the same as a man, and she did that in her Oscar speech, which was galvanized. Was already something that was a conversation that's been talked about for years, but to have that kind of billion people watching in that moment was really powerful, and it sparked the conversation to come to the forefront again, which was really important. So I think my mother is always, she instilled that. I mean, we marched when I was a kid, and I've told this story often, but with Martin Luther King, and that was, I got to meet him, and I was in the back of a truck with him, and it was an anti-war march that my mother was one of the organizers of. But if she was alive now, which is what I wrote on Twitter, she'd be, resisting, organizing, and registering everybody to vote, because what we're seeing in America right now is quite frightening. We've never been here. And there's the basic decency, the values of this country and what it was built upon are being attacked every minute of every day. And as much as you get sick of reading your Twitter feed and seeing what's going on, to stay connected and see, it's almost like he wants to saturate everybody so that you get bored and tired and turn off from it. I'm about to go away, and I have a lot going on and I have to leave town, but and I won't be able to get to my Twitter as usual, and I feel kind of like, ooh, am I going to be in touch? Am I going to be okay with the people that I keep in touch with only on Twitter? Some people, there's a man named Lance who works very hard for the Flint crisis and the water in Flint, Michigan, which is just toxic and filled with lead, and kids are everybody's getting very, very ill from it, and it's been like that for almost 4 years, and they're not doing anything about it. And so I keep in touch with him a lot, trying to help him raise awareness. I mean, it's in other cities too, but they've particularly really been slammed hard, and they have no clean water. It's horrendous.
Oh, obviously I can see from here in Ireland on Twitter all the time as well, the constant barrage of news or information that's coming out. How do you stay positive? How do you deal with that negativity out there?
So that's a really important question, because what starts to happen is that we're all in a constant collective consciousness of fear and negativity, and it's a spiral, and it is an energy, and it's a strong, powerful energy, and a vortex that spins you out of control. And I have been brought into actually a huge anxious anxiety depression from it all, and I've had to really work hard, wake up in the morning and be grateful to what I like to consider God. A lot of people don't want to say God, but whatever to me is the highest form of love, which is the love energy, God to me, and just really stay in gratitude, which is if you're in gratitude, you can't be in fear. And really, even if it's just writing it in front of you, the gratitude list of what you're grateful for, and even if it's just to be able to open your eyes and breathe and start there, whatever it is that is you're grateful for. And some days feels like, gosh, I give up. But to be able to just stay in gratitude is really important.
But look, you're keeping going, and that's the most important thing.
We keep going, and we have to just keep. I really do believe in democracy, which they're trying to dismantle in this country. And I think voting and getting these kids, the thing that gives what I'm inspired by right now are these young people, the Parkland students who watched their great friends before they were graduating all be slaughtered, and in their grief and in their despair and in their trauma, they galvanized a movement that is so powerful and so important. And for me, they're our future, and they inspire me every day. And they're getting people to vote, and they are the future of America. And so I'm inspired by their energy.
Where do you see, I didn't want to, not necessarily bringing this into politics, but it's gone there. So talk about what is the solution, or where do you see this coming to a positive outcome, or what needs to happen, do you think?
Well, what's happening with, for instance, the Parkland students, there's so many grassroots movements that are happening, and the awareness. But when you have a president who's is just lying about everything, and then has supporters that saying that we are lying about everything and going attacking the brilliant press that are exposing the truth every day, or even the Republican who's a Mueller who happens to be a Republican, and everything that he's working on by exposing the darkness and the lies and the twisted things. I mean, I think it goes so deep, and we're just seeing the beginning of this. Is just the beginning, a needle in a haystack of the corruption that we're about to, that's going to come up. I do believe that good will always, we shall overcome. Good versus evil, and goodness will win. We will win this. We will. There are much more good people. There are many more good people than there are evil. That's what I'm going to stick with right now. As much as there are so many dark, horrible people out there, I'm going to focus on the good, and I do believe that we shall overcome.
Very good. In the world we're in now, who are the positive influences that you draw upon that gives you that strength and that helps you look forward?
The youth, the young people who are actually they're the future of America. I mean, we have to support them because they are the future. They have the energy. They are out there. They're out there on a tour right now, registering people to vote, which is so important. And hopefully we'll get back to that's a whole other conversation about the voting, and the computers that got tampered with and the corruption that's happened. But anyway, it goes on and on. We can just go on and on about these things, but these are the things that really matter to me. I know I have a television show that's out, and it's hard to talk about your career when it just seems so kind of inauthentic and in a lot of ways. But like everybody's like, you got to post your show. Why are you posting all this political stuff? It's like, I'm just so embarrassed to do that. But okay, you do it. Okay, watch my show.
Well, I think I was thinking about the interview beforehand, and I generally like to dive into real, tangible, real life stuff, and that talk about the maybe, as you said, less so important at the end. But it is important. It seems like you're in a career perspective. You're probably very, very busy now. Things are going in a good direction for you. Would that be fair to say?
I mean, I've always worked. I mean, I've had. Did I have huge road bumps? I am one of the women that came out against Harvey Weinstein in the beginning, and this story really brought the Toronto Burke's Me Too movement up to the forefront, and then the Time's Up, and they all kind of, built the momentum based on women coming out and telling the truth. And it was really daring and really scary, and it's really hard to do that. And what Ronan Farrow exposed is, the spying, which continues, and the sabotage and all of that, continues to happen here and there. I mean, I have a career, but I don't have an agent. I do my thing. I have a good attorney and a manager, and keep going, and I get work around the world. Thank God I don't have to rely just on Hollywood, or else I'd really be in trouble. I can work in other places in the world, and I actually prefer to. Just love nothing more to get a job and work in Ireland.
You never know who's listening.
I love it there.
You might get over. Just on the Harvey Weinstein, I'm not going to protract questions around that, but when that came out, knowing you've had a secret for so long, how did you feel once it came out? Was it a weight off? Did it open up a Pandora's box of pain, or how did that?
It opened a lot of. What it did was, the beautiful part, the positive part, was that women across the world reached out that were silent and scared in their fear and traumatized for so many years that they had to hold on to these secrets, and then they were able, in some way, it gave them permission to be able to tell their stories. And because of that, we've all, I feel like we're I've said this, but it's like we're holding hands across the world as in a sisterhood of support, and watching the women. I was not raped by Harvey, but I was, assaulted in a way that, it was creepy, and my career was severely damaged. And as much as he, likes to deny anything happened, but oh my gosh, it was pretty bad. And but the women that were physically harmed and raped, and still continue to be bullied and told that they're liars and they're crazy, I stand behind them, and it's really important that for me that they get justice, and I hope they do. And then there's things that I can do later, but I'm not making it about me. I'm just really about supporting them right now so that they get their justice, and then we'll see how it goes. Hopefully he'll go to jail, but I'm not banking on it because money talks, and God knows most people have bought their way out of these things, and he so far has been able to buy his way out of a lot.
Well, let's hope justice gets served, certainly there. Yeah. I'm just conscious of the time, and I want to be respectful to you. Just a couple of quick ones. A phrase or a cliche that you kind of live by. Is there something that you always say that you really believe in? Anything come up for you there?
Well, in the back of my car is a bumper sticker. I have 2 signs that are going on. The March for Our Lives, which is a big sign that I carried, and the March for Our Lives, which is against gun violence. And that is in the window, you see it as we drive on the window ledge of my car. Sure. And on the back is a bumper sticker that says, "No human being is illegal."
Very good.
And that is what I believe.
Very good. A book that you would recommend that's had a massive impact on you? I like to share book recommendations.
Oh, I'm really loving Mary Beard's, and I've already read it, but I kind of been carrying it around with me because it's a small book. It's Women in Power. It's a manifesto by Mary Beard. And I just keep reading it over and over, some of her things in here. It's good. I've got so many books. I'm finally going to take a little rest. So here's what's beside me right now. Mothers. It's an essay on love and cruelty by Jacqueline Rose. And I'm reading. I love these guys, the Duplass brothers. Like brothers, Mark Duplass and Jay Duplass, they're in the business, and they're really interesting guys. And I've got Eve Babbitt's Sex and Rage. I decided to reread that, and I have a Rumi book next to me. Okay. I've got a lot of political things I've been reading. This is a book that I think is really important. Hold on, I have to.
Yeah, take your time.
It's Healing from Hate. And it's how young men get in and out of violent extremism, and it's by Michael Kimmel.
Oh, okay.
That is really, yeah.
Some good ones.
Should I just have any fun books or anything? It's hilarious, all the books that are around me right now. My whole bookcase is filled with. I've got witches, sluts, and feminists.
Very good. This is turning into a book show, so keep going. It's all right.
Sorry? Huh?
Keep going.
It's conjuring the sex positive is what's going on. I just have many books around me. Here's Out of Your Mind by Alan Watts. It's now starting things are piling up here. I'll go to the bookstore and then go, okay, I'm going to read this, and then then I've got going on vacation and stuff to take. I just got the memoir by Francois Hardy. This is Despair Monkeys. So yeah, and then there's all these women here that sent me their books about their trauma.
Sure.
Like Caitlin. Oh,
that's actually how we connected. Was through Madeleine Black, who wrote a book. And she reached out to me to say thank you for making the connection and certainly for your support all the way through. So yeah, I think she sent you a copy as well.
Okay, well she's wonderful, and then there's this lovely girl from the UK, Caitlin Spencer, and she has a book called Please Let Me Go, which I'm really trying. It's a horrific story of a true story of the hands of sex traffickers. That happened to her. Winnie M. Lee, Dark Chapter. So I've gotten all these women have sent me their books, and they're really powerful and different stories, and it just goes on and on and on. I'll get it. I think it all leads to what's happened to the porn industry. It's gotten so dark and twisted and awful, and where young boys are just on porn sites all day long, and by the time they're 14, and by the time they're 17, they can't get an erection anymore. Now is this okay to say on a podcast?
This is fine.
In Ireland. I'm sorry.
All people listen to this. I think it's okay.
But that's what's happening, and they've done all these studies, and then so what happens? They resort to violence. We're seeing a rise in rapes, especially in colleges, and it's all connected.
Sure.
And I don't. It's like we got to bring the light. It's just getting dark in every area. And for me, these children that are locked up and caged, and what they're finding, and they are going to find, and they are finding. I mean, they're being sold into sex trafficking. That's what's happening. And the kid, where are they? They're gone.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
And do they want to? Nobody wants to deal with that. But if you really look and do the history of the President of the United States, the history of his beauty pageants and his casinos, what do you think was going on there? It's a whole industry. What is Putin's like? What is his work? What is the things that they do so well? Don't they have like a huge industry in sex trafficking in Russia? I mean, there's something so dark in this. It's one of the biggest money makers in the world. And it used to be weapons and drugs, and now it's becoming the sex industry.
Well, I think by you sharing those stories from those ladies that are sending you the books and tweeting about it, it's raising the awareness. It's having a positive impact and getting those stories out there, and hopefully, ultimately making a difference. I would imagine.
I don't know. I mean, I told you, I had like 300,000 followers, and then 2 days before the show came out, they just disappeared. So that was really interesting. It's like, not that I care about the follower thing, but what I care about is getting information out there to people.
Sure.
So that's what's really important. It's not about like following me. It's just, but getting information out to a lot of people. And it's just, that was so kind of bizarre. And, the Twitter thing, it was like a Twitter cleanup, but it only seemed to really affect a few people that I know. And I certainly didn't have 300,000 bots.
Sure, of course not. It's madness. Yeah, I did notice it, and I think I was reading around the time over the last few weeks of X amount being wiped from so many accounts. Like, it's probably a timing thing. Just, I do want to wrap up on just giving your show a shout out. I think it's important that we talk a little bit about it. It's called Sideswiped. It was YouTube. All the episodes released at the same time.
So it's YouTube originals. They've YouTube has their own programming. Like they're doing their own network now of shows and stuff, and they have quite a nice audience. And so if you have YouTube, you get YouTube Prime, and that gives you YouTube Originals, which also has an amazing music station. Sure. And there's a show called Sideswiped, and it's about the dating app world. Here we are, and I'm the mom of this 35-year-old woman who is figuring out what happened to her life. I had her when I was 18, and my husband dies, and I move in with her, and I never got to have fun or play or do anything, so she also goes in the dating app world, and we have a lot of fun guest stars. We have Rick Springfield came on, and he plays himself.
I think you were going on a date with him. I saw that piece. All right, yeah.
It's fun for laughter and stuff. I like it. It's fun. It's fun to do comedy. It's a light comedic, a little racy sometimes show that is what it is, and happy to be, I like working. Sure. Sometimes I see, I don't know if you have the show Succession over there with Brian Cox. I have a movie that's coming out with Brian Cox, who I love so much. It's one of the most. It's a complete masterpiece. Okay. I wish I'd love to be in a show like that also.
Right.
That's a serious, wow. It's just, you've never seen anything like it. It's so good.
Okay. Oh. And what is that on Netflix? Is it
No, it's on HBO.
HBO, okay.
It's really good.
We probably have it over here as well, yeah.
Yeah, it's extraordinary. Okay. Just the acting of everybody in it is just brilliant. There's just not one false bad performance of anybody. And that's really great. So yeah, it's fun to work and to be an actress, and I'll continue to work. Jim Sheridan's over there. He made one of my favorite movies ever in America, which is one of my favorite movies. I've seen it over and over and over. I love that movie so much, and I love him as a director, and that would be a dream, get to work with somebody like him one day.
I might just ask one movie question, and it's not going to be about Madonna, so don't worry about that. And it maybe even moving from an actor into becoming a director and a producer. How did you find that transition, or was there any I suppose, takeaways or skills that you really had to learn or develop very quickly in that kind of shift?
Well, I did documentaries, 2 documentaries, but what I did love is the editing process, because you could, even I just asked the questions, and then the film, it was all in the editing and putting, the story together, which was amazing and fun, and I really did love doing that. I do have a feature that I want to direct, and I feel really confident about that. I definitely know actors and want to work with them. I have such wonderful actors that I admire that are great friends of mine, and one day I would love to be able to do like Laura Dern, who's one of my dear friends, and Melanie Griffith, and like just fun, great, wonderful, talented actors that are out there. Ben Mendelsohn and Lola Kirk. I mean, these are all people that I'd love to work with someday.
Cool. Well, look, you've been really, really good with your time. I think we've gone over 10 minutes, but I wasn't going to stop this one for anything, and happy to chat for ages. But Rosanna, it was so nice to talk to you. I really appreciate it.
Nice to talk to you.
Yeah,
Thank you so much. And sorry if I'm rambling away.
The rambling is...
I'm very ADD, as you can tell, and that's the deal. So I just go where my mind takes me sometimes, and maybe as long as it takes me on a good road, we're good.
Yeah, no, definitely. I was more than happy to be sitting back listening to all of that. It was great to hear what's going on for you, and I hope everything goes in the positive and upward trajectory. I hope you enjoy your vacation. Are you going anywhere nice?
Yeah, I'm not going to say it out loud, but yeah, but I'll be, I'll be out your way soon.
Oh, really? Okay, very good.
I mean, not Ireland, but I'll be around the UK, and yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, safe travels. Have a nice restful time, and it was great chatting with you. I look forward to sharing this with your 50,000 Twitter followers and the 300,000 bots that are probably listening somewhere.
They went from 350,000 to but that's okay.
That's all right.
It's all good, and at the end of the day, what does it really mean? Just keep going and being yourself, and
exactly
all that stuff.
That's the key thing.
How much it really does matter.
Just keep going and be yourself, and as we started off with those kind of core values you took from your mum, maybe just keep those in mind.
Yes.
Brilliant. All right, Rosanna, have a great Monday. Have a great week. Thanks again so much.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Good luck.
Bye.
Bye. So this is the outro of the podcast, guys. You got to the end, and that is great. Please hang in here for another couple of minutes. I know most people won't, but maybe there's something here of interest, so check this out. First off, thanks so much for listening to this one, as well as maybe the 100 or so that's gone before it. Why not check them out if you haven't already? There's lots of good stuff in there. The whole podcasting journey for me has been a huge learning, and I'm trying to help you guys learn and improve as well. So much has changed over the last few years since I started it. I've really realised lots of the goals that I put out there, and then realised so many unexpected benefits as well. And I think anytime you take on action towards a goal, you're going to pick up lots of things that you didn't expect along the way, and hopefully they're good things. In this particular episode, was there any one or two things that jumped out? Maybe you could take a pen and paper out right now, because this is something that you might think of during the episode but never do. Do it now. Take it out. Write down a goal that you're going to set yourself as a result of something you learned from this episode. Put a plan in place and then work towards it, applying yourself deliberately over time. Take ownership, build a habit, improve, get 1% better, share accountability with somebody you know in a buddy system, and learn and grow and improve. That's what it's all about. That's my hopefully inspirational piece done. Other areas to note: check out the website robofthegreen.ie. You can consume everything there for free. There is obviously the podcast, there's video, 1 Minute Monday clips, there's articles, not enough, but I'd like to put more there. If you're interested in putting one there, let me know. And there's a Get Better At page, which I'm starting to add new content to over time. There's a feedback page if you want to email me, rob@robofthegreen.ie instead. But it's all about trying to engage you and get you to a place of improvement. So I'm open to feedback. As I said, ways you can help me is by following me on the socials. @robofthegreen.ie is the website, or @robofthegreen on all the social platforms. Subscribe to the podcast on any of the apps that you might listen to it on. Talk about it. Tell a friend about it. Tell your family members about it. Share some of the ideas, not only to your friends but to me. Is there anything I can improve upon? Sign up to the newsletter. That's there as well. I'm experimenting again with a group called Slack, Rob of the Green on Slack. This is really for a shared accountability environment and sharing ideas. You can sign up to that on the website as well. All of this is obviously all free, but there is also an option where you could subscribe to my Patreon site and make a small donation for the content that we do. It's there. It's totally up to you. Everything that is coming in through that or could come in through that will go into making the podcast better. So, to close, I am always trying to improve and get better. Change is difficult, I know that, but it's all about taking the first step. Learning something, applying yourself, moving forward. You can do this. I've been able to improve, pushing myself outside the comfort zone, learning, and I think if I can do it, so can you. Don't overreach, don't set yourself unrealistic goals. 1% at a time is enough, but it's all about starting, and that will bring you on your pursuit of betterness to a great place. Thanks for sticking to the very end. Talk to you next time and take care. Good luck.